What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and the Overwatch 2 Season 8 Mid-Season Balance patch is finally here, introducing significant changes from MAUGA, Illari, Orisa, and a number of other heroes. So let's go ahead and jump into the details. First and foremost, starting off with MAUGA, who got overall a series of pretty hefty nerfs. Base health increased from 250 to 300, and base armor decreased from 250 to 200, so in essence, some of his armor just became normal health again. Incendiary and volatile chain guns ammo decreased from 350 to 300. Cardiac overdrive, lifesteal decreased from 70% to 60%, and cooldown increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. Cage fight no longer grants infinite ammo, but does still reload MAUGA's chain guns upon using it, and Berserker overhealth conversion rate decreased from 60% to 50%. So flat out across the board, all of these changes are nerfs to his power, and largely nerfs to his sustainability specifically. The most notable outlier here, I'd say, is the change to Cage Fight, where his ammo is no longer infinite during it. This is actually the one change which I personally feel kind of iffy on. I like the idea of using Cage Fight in a way where even if you don't manage to capture somebody within it, you can still use it to get that infinite ammo. Sure, you're stuck within the cage for the duration of it, or until you cancel it, in order to actually retain having infinite ammo, but it was still sort of an interesting alternate way to utilize it. Just infinite ammo ult, basically, which more often than not isn't probably the best use of it, but it was a different way of doing it. So I don't know that I really like that they made this change. Granted, you can still use it as just a barrier, and certainly as an area denial mechanic, because people aren't going to want to walk into it, but I don't know. By and large, I think these are good nerfs when it comes to MAUGA, definitely ones that I think are going to push him in the right direction. Cage Fight, though, maybe that was a bit too much. We'll see though. Moving on though to Orisa, she also got a couple interesting changes. Augmented Fusion Driver removed fall off damage penalty, and Fortify is now immune to taking forced critical hit damage, such as MAUGA's volatile chain gun damage while Orisa is burning. Fortify already prevents direct critical damage from headshots. So this is literally, specifically a counter buff for MAUGA. All this does is make it so that she can't be crit by getting hit by MAUGA while she's burning. I love it. The change only exists because of MAUGA, but it's definitely a change which I think is fitting for her, gonna give her a bit more strength against him, probably something that's worth having. Roadhog, Take a Breather, total amount healed was reduced from 500 to 450, and the cooldown between uses increased from 1 to 1.5 seconds, so just a bit of a nerf there to Take a Breather. Honestly, I think this is a decent direction for the ability. It's kind of annoying how consistently and how much Roadhog can heal with it, so cool. I think this is a good change for Hog here. Moving on to the damage heroes, Sojourn, Railgun, Gradual Energy Decay no longer decreases below 25%, and Sombra, Hack, Server Update Rate while channeling increased to improve responsiveness. Interesting change there, more of a server side thing than something for the hero specifically. And Stealth, Grace Period, where stealth can be cancelled immediately after entering, is increased from 0.5 to 0.75 seconds. Cooldown now pauses at 1 second while capturing or contesting objectives from 1.5 seconds, and cooldown on respawning decreased from 1.5 to 1 second. Interesting set of minuscule changes there for Stealth. Nothing too significant though as far as I'm concerned. And getting onto the support heroes last of all, Ana, Biotic Grenade effect duration reduced from 3.5 to 3 seconds. Yes, at long last they are finally nerfing Ana's Bionade. It's a very small nerf, very subtle one, half a second shorter duration, but they're finally nerfing it. This is one which I'm actually very curious to see how it plays out, and specifically how the community by and large reacts to it. But next up, Illari, Solar Rifle, primary fire charge gain is no longer paused by secondary fire, nor channeling Captive Sun, and ammo is increased from 14 to 16, so just a little buff there for her primary fire, and Captive Sun now fully refills secondary fire resource and resets overheated status, and remove the damage fall-off penalty on the Sunstruck explosion. So again, slight buffs there to her ult ultimate, Captive Sun. Honestly, not as substantial as I was expecting when it comes to Illari. I was kind of thinking they'd give her something a little bit more with her buffs, maybe even something specifically for her pylon, given that that ability feels pretty easy to counter at this point. But I'm sure they don't want to just accidentally overbuff her, so they're probably going to play it slow, implement these changes, see how she feels, and then maybe give her a few more buffs a little later down the line if it still feels like she's underperforming. And last for the heroes who got changes in the mid-season patch, Lifeweaver, Thorn Volley, projectile speed increased from 70 to 80 meters per second, and Petal Platform no longer pierced by piercing projectiles. That's actually a bit of an interesting change, because it means that you're not going to be able to just snipe up under him when he's using it to elevate himself to basically shield himself from people beneath him, but at the same time there's not a lot of items that really pierce in that sort of way, so a very niche sort of buff, I'd guess you'd call it, to the Petal Platform. But overall, nothing too substantial here when it comes to changes for Lifeweaver. And that does it for all the hero balance changes in the Overwatch 2 Season 8 mid-season balance patch. Admittedly, not too much going on. There were some definitely much needed nerfs implemented for MAUGA specifically, some other little tweaks here and there for various heroes, but nothing too big or exciting, which is a little surprising to me, because overall Season 8 has felt like a fairly lackluster season. I was kind of expecting Blizzard to maybe push out some changes that are a little spicier just to mix things up, if nothing else, but it seems they're focusing primarily on just little fine-tuning details for a few heroes, which, I don't know, maybe they got something else in mind. I guess we have the Lunar New Year event coming up later this month, but for the time being, these are the changes we've got in Overwatch. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching this video. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this round of balance changes by dropping a comment down below. Do you think they nerfed MAUGA too hard, or maybe you think some of the changes just weren't enough? Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and as always, be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, come follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch 2 news, streams, and other content. And special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible. If you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. And otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.